Hi guys, my name is Ath, for those of you who don't know me, and you are just about to have the world's best mobility session with the world's most mobile person. There's a little bit of irony in there, but here we go. Hopefully what I'll also be able to do is give you some scales for today's mobility, because my mobility is great, and ultimately there are lots of different progressions for these particular movements that we can work through. The first one we're going to work on is, I call it the AMRA stretch. It's actually a lat stretch. It's just because AMRA was always doing it whenever I was in the gym. What you want to do is you want to put your hands roughly, one with your shoulder, one about waist height, hands on the wall, and all you're going to do is twist around so that your body, head, neck, shoulders, hips are all in line. So we're starting here, this is our start position, and all we're going to do is just twist with the feet facing same direction as our head, twist round into that position, okay? You should feel the stretch down your lats, down the side, maybe a little bit into the obliques and the hips. Obviously, like all stretches, just make sure you don't push too far. First few, just work the range of motion, and then obviously extend it as you go through the stretch. Do roughly about 10 to 15 on one side, turn the other way, other hand at the top, 10 to 15 the other side. Okay? Other things you can do is just move your feet slightly, which gives a little bit less of a stretch as a progression. Okay? Number two, you've seen this a few times already, so hopefully this will be quite familiar for you. Check out my beautiful squat position against the wall. Don't have to fall over. Nice squat position, knees pushed out to the sides, and all we're going to do is we're going to have back against the wall, and we're just going to twist our arm as far as we can, up and over. Should feel that stretch. Well, you should start to feel your legs burn a little bit, but also feel that stretch over in the lats, opening up the shoulders. Okay? Progressions for this, obviously, you can do smaller sets, and ultimately you can just go to where you start to feel the stretch. Okay? Next movement is the butterfly. Two ways to do this, and there are a few progressions. If you struggle with your hip mobility, specifically with your adductors, then what I would suggest you do is get a cushion, or you may even have, if you're like really posh, a yoga block. And all you're going to do is feet together, squeeze those feet as far as you can towards your bum, here. And all we're going to do is push down onto our knees, nice and gently with the elbows. You can also grip hold of your feet and push those knees out to the side. We want to hold this position for roughly 3 minutes, okay? The other thing you can do is just gently rock from side to side. You may also, to progress this stretch and stretch out these adductors, is just push against. So what I'm doing here is I've got my elbows into my knees, and I'm pushing against my elbows, okay? Do that for 10 to 15 seconds, and then just release that stretch, and what you'll find is you can go further with that stretch. If you're finding that fairly easy, take away the seat, the raise, feet together, same thing, and just push down. Progressions for that are obviously to just hold yourself and drive yourself over that stretch. So the more you push out, trying to get that body down further into the floor. As you can see, I'm not particularly mobile in that position. Okay, the next stretch, I'm just going to turn around, so I'll explain it first, and then I'll give you a demonstration. It's a trap stretch, okay, so for these muscles here, okay, Bex Bennett knows all about these. What we're going to do is we're going to turn around, I'm going to grab my wrist behind me, and I'm going to pull that wrist slightly to the midline of my body. At the same time, I'm going to move my neck away from the arm that I'm stretching, and I'll show you that right now. Obviously, progressions for this movement are an extended stretch. The other thing you can do is if you're finding it difficult to get those arms behind you, okay, especially those of you that have got quite tight chests, one thing that you can do is grab a towel or some sort of piece of cloth around your wrist behind you. So obviously imagine we've got it here, and then just pull that arm in exactly the same movement. So pull the arm in, exactly the same movement, and what we're trying to do is get a stretch down the side of our trap and neck muscles here, okay? This is also a great one if you sleep funny, but just be cautious, do it gently, okay? Our next one is the Samson stretch. What we're going to do here is we're going to go down into, do it sideways, into a lunge position, okay? We are then just going to push that hip, that pelvis forward. So if you're in this position, you're not going to feel the stretch here, okay? So you want to push like we do when we're sort of doing a thrust movement. Push, keep nice and upright, keep that hip pushed forward. We're going to take the arms above, and what we're going to do is we're going to lean to one side, okay? We're going to lean to that side towards the leg that's in that 90-degree position, okay? So start position, finish position. Start position, finish position, okay? We want to do that roughly 20 times on each side. If it's something like with all these mobility, if it's something that you find quite challenging, maybe add in another set of 20. It's literally going to take you an extra minute, okay? Twisted hip, this is a great one because I'm really struggling with this one. I'm actually going to take a mat here and I'm just going to pop it underneath my knee. Now, exactly the same position we were for the Samson. Obviously with the Samson, just remember to twist, swap your legs over, do it on the other side. With this one, we're going to do here is we're going to reach round. I might be able to do it without getting massive cramp in the hamstring. No. Start again. Okay, twist round. I might need a helper here. Can I just borrow Beth a minute? Beth? Can I just borrow you a second? I need a prop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feel around my foot. Just, no, I've got it. No. Cancel. I don't need it. You can just stand out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this position here. At the same time, I'm going to push my hips forward. This is also, for somebody like me who struggles with these movements and stability of the glutes, it's actually quite good for stability because as you can see, I'm struggling to kind of maintain that. So what I'm going to do in this position here is I'm just going to turn into that stretch and back round. So just turn into that stretch and back round, okay? What you should be doing is feeling that in your hip flexors. If you don't, push those hips forward, okay? Now, the other way you can do this, as I say, I'm pretty bad at this. So if I can do it, I'm sure 80–90% of you will be. But if you're struggling with that one, what you can do is just grab something, maybe like a towel, a tea towel would be ideal for that, around your foot, put it here, and then what you can do is you can either pop it around and then pull, and then maybe grab something on the side and hold on to it, okay? Or you can just get somebody to help you. The other version of this is like a cow stretch. So if you are really struggling with that one, get a cow stretch, which is where on your sofa, but this would be your sofa, all you're doing is you're just pushing the hips up and you're trying to get that torso as tall as you can, okay? So you might be in this position, you might be here, you might be able to get all the way up, okay? The last one for today, and just bear in mind, you want to hold that for roughly about a minute on each leg. The last one for today, to finish off with, super easy, thank God, is the cat and cow stretch. So we're going to be in this position here on all fours, okay? Feet, knees, hip width apart, hands hip, shoulder width apart, and all we're going to do is move from a cat position into a cow position. Cat, cow. And again, probably about 20 rotations of this. It's super easy to whiz through all of your mobility. What you want to be doing is thinking controlled movement and really thinking about where am I positioning my hands. It sounds daft, but even something like the cat stretch, a plank for example, figuring out where your fingers are and what point of your hands is actually in contact with the floor can help with things like handstand hold. It's not until you start to really figure in the intricacies of that you start to realise how much control you can actually take from your hands. And ultimately, something like this mobility session is super important and is massively progressive into other movements later down the line. Thanks for listening. Hopefully you'll tune in later for the nutrition talk, and I'll see you guys soon.